What's up, everybody? My name is Maximilian Deer, and this is episode 24 of the Wholesalers, and this is Captain Soup. And today we're going to be doing a really chill, casual masterclass on all things entrepreneurship. If you're a wholesaler, you're a real estate investor, you're a realtor, whatever you are in real estate, you're most likely an entrepreneur. You maybe have a team, but at the end of the day, this is not your typical 9 to 5. This is entrepreneurship. I've been an entrepreneur literally my whole life. I started arbitrage trading silver at pawn shops when I was 10 years old, and I have never had a typical job. And I've started and exited multiple businesses, and my most successful business is the one I do right now. It's a RFP Homes with my right-hand man and a couple other partners, Tony and Nick. But for sure, it's the man, the handsomer half, Ryan Romo. What's up, bro?
You got to stop introducing me as the more handsome one. I think everyone knows who the real beauty is behind the operation, and we're looking at Soup.
What's up, Soup? Yeah, so if you guys don't know, we have a 7-figure wholesaling business. We're a disposition company. We sell deals for other wholesalers or realtors, and it's a crazy operation. Ryan, Tony called me today, our other partner, and Nick's the fourth partner, and he said, you are hiring like crazy. How many people have you hired recently?
Well, I think, you guys have been on board now for 4 months. And by the way, I mean, crazy amounts of value, you and Tony. I mean, that's the coolest about partners, right? Like finding people that, have a skill set that supplements what you do. So I think I'm really good at the people part and attracting good talent. I'm in the people game, and you guys have really enabled me to go out there and perform and do what first off, I love, but second off, just really just be me and focus on one thing and do it really well. And, the talent acquisition and building, the pipeline for people that we need to come in here and, help us grow the company. And that's been my main focus. So I think when you guys jumped on board, we had 7 agents and we just signed on our 23rd agent, which is pretty amazing. So we have scaled very quickly. And I think we're 19 months in the company. So that's not normal, Max. We're one of the fastest growing, if not the fastest growing investment brokerage in DFW now. So we're doing some big things, and I mean, we have a lot of responsibilities, but I wouldn't have it any other way. And it's really cool to be a part of this, and just excited to continue to add value to our agents and build this thing the right way and see where we take it.
As someone who's always been a solopreneur, every single business I've always started has always just been me. And probably why I've capped out and not been able to build a 7, 8, 9-figure business is because it's just been me. What do you look for in terms of hiring? You're looking at candidates.
Man, honestly, I don't really care about their resume. I don't care about their background, ethnicity, male or female. Like I all I care about is like what's up here, and I'm pointing to my head, your mindset and your drive, and I'm pointing to my stomach now, and their hunger. As long as they have those two things, it really doesn't matter, because this job anyone can be successful at. I don't care if you have a 200 IQ and you have a Harvard MBA, or if you haven't even gone to high school. We can teach you the game, and if you put in the work, you can be and will be successful. That's the beautiful part about our model. It doesn't matter your background. So we have people from all different types of walks of life. And again, you'd be surprised, because again, we've been through enough candidates and people now on our team to be where, okay, yeah, this person seems like they'd be an okay candidate when we're interviewing them, and then they come in and they just blow us away. We're like, holy shit, where did that come from? And then there's people that come in, they crush the interview. You're like, all right, I'm betting the boat. I'm betting the house on them. They're going to crush it. They come in, they don't do anything. It was all talk. So it really you don't know. Again, as long as they have the mindset and the hunger, it really doesn't matter to me. And if they have those two things, I'll give anyone a shot.
Do you think that just applies to our job because we're more of a sales related job, or you think that applies to pretty much any job?
I think anything, because I think you can, like I just pedigree wise, you could be, A+ student all the way through college, Harvard, MBA. But if you don't get out there and put in the work, it doesn't matter what your pedigree is. You have to go in and do the actions. And people with a lot of talent that don't put in the work, they get outworked by people that don't have the talent and put in the work. It's that nth degree and that effort that separates the, middle tier, the top tier. It's those little separation points that, separate the, from good to great, so to speak. So it's really just effort and giving it your all. And I don't think, being the smartest person in the room by any ways equates to having the most success. I mean, you tell me your thoughts on that.
I agree. I think if anything, it ends up being a detriment when you're too smart. You overthink things. You freak yourself out when the obvious solution and the obvious answer is just sitting right in front of you sometimes. But yeah, no, I absolutely agree. It's been a shock for me because, like I said, I've always been a solopreneur, and now for the first time in my life, I'm actually having to hire. So I know that you're hiring like crazy for the brokerage, and it's crazy. We have over 20 licensed agents now, and I remember just 4 months ago, like that office was empty. Now it's packed. We're trying to buy more desks. But even for like the Discord and the wholesalers, I mean, we now have 3 part-time employees who are acting as acquisition agents. And now we also have a full-time editor. We have a full-time marketing assistant. So it's been weird shift for me actually having to hire employees. I've never done it. I've never had partners, but I absolutely see the benefit. So something I've been working on is I really think I'm a good worker. Was not a good boss, and I was not a good at trying to figure out what makes a good hire, and that's a new skill set that I'm developing. And it does take time to learn that. It's hard. It's hard.
Anything worth doing is hard, man. And that's, if we want to get to the next level, beat that boss. Continue moving the the football forward and the goalpost forward. You have to learn those skill sets that maybe you haven't done before. So like you said, and I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit. I mean, you're basically running your own company, and I think you are good at managing and hiring people. I mean, look at the community you built. Now I think, you might have needed a little help with some of the systems and the processes and stuff, but dude, that's why we can rely on partners. Like you said, you were a solopreneur. Like I couldn't do what I'm doing without you and Tony and Nick. You guys supplement my skill set very well. I'd still be slinging deals, and I don't even know what I'd be doing. So it's my success and yours. I think it's all collective. It's all these corny quotes, right? Like if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go as a team. So it's very true. And whatever formula we have as a partners in our team and having the right people in the right seats, like it's worked. It's working. But it's not perfect. We're always constantly improving, getting 1% better every day. And problems will emerge, but that's where the money's made, right? Figuring out how to solve those problems as they come up. But that's okay. That's part of growing the business. We're gonna encounter much bigger problems down the road, Max. I promise you that. And they're gonna get stressful, and we're probably gonna yell at each other, and we're gonna scream. But it's okay, because we got a lot of smart minds in the room, and we'll figure it out. I have no doubt. That's a skill set of its own, in my opinion. Figuring it out and just knowing that we don't have all the right answers right now, but we have the skill set to solve that problem and get the problem to where it needs to be and fixed and improved, and then it's on to the next problem. I think it's that simple in growing a business.
I think so. So when it's come to me and hiring, I'm really just looking for people who care about what we're building as much as me. I don't think they could care more than me. I don't think that's possible, because if they cared more than me, then they'd be in my position here. They'd be running the ship. But just try to care almost as much as me, as what we're building, and the people that belong to the company, and all the people that are part of this journey. I think that's really the most important thing. But when it comes to hiring, I mean, I used to edit my own videos, right? I used to do everything myself, and I ran out of time in the day. I still don't have enough time in the day. I just got back from the gym. So, for me, it's just really been hiring out the tasks where I am better spent, in other places. And there's people better than me at every single one of those tasks, from editing to marketing to comping deals. And I'm just better overall managing it and thinking long term, but just finding those people for those specific tasks. So if anyone's out there trying to figure out like when you should hire, it's when you think that there's a next step that you can get to that you don't have the time to do that. Like if you really thought like, hey, if I could put 4 or 6 hours into something else and it could be very successful, then hire out so that you can now have 4 to 6 hours more in your day. That's what I'm trying to do right now. And it's been working pretty well.
You basically described like releasing the vine. Like there comes a point when you're scaling to where somewhat of your efforts just isn't worth your time anymore. Like that time spent is makes more sense spending the money to find someone to help you out with that task while you go do something else and creates more value. So that's the hard part. I think figuring out what's the fine balance and knowing when to release those vines, that's something I struggle with because I still enjoy, getting in the weeds and doing some of the dirty tasks. And then I'll have to be reminded by Nick or Tony or whatever, like, what are you doing? Stop humping this deal. Go make a call for a recruiter. Like, I'm like, oh shit, go do the podcast. Go build a third party relationship. I think a lot of the stuff, which is really cool behind the scenes, that I think even yourself and Tony really helped out with, was created these, third party affiliate relationships where we built these lead funnels that are now literally just spitting deals for our team. Round robin contracts. I mean, come on, I don't know any other wholesale brokerages that are offering round robin free contracts. You just need to get it on the board. It sells. It's free money we're providing for the team. So that's the kind of stuff that we are working on to build a better enterprise value for the company. Also, too, just value for our team. I mean, how cool is it? What a good recruiting tool. I mean, that helps me. Hey, I'm in a interview and I'm explaining our company, what we're doing, the vision. Oh, hey, by the way, we just had an agent make $17,000 fee by a free Discord lead or from Douglas's lead funnel MLS AI system or whatever it may be. You know what I mean? It's that's kind of bigger projects. I think, it's worth our time to do because it helps our agents and it makes the company grow and it provides better talent because who doesn't want to work for a company like that, providing the resources and, value that I think that we're doing a good job building right now, which we're going to continue to invest in.
I couldn't say it better. So if you want to run a company, guys, if you want to be in entrepreneurship, free up that vine, whatever the saying is for Ryan, like get people into doing the tasks, and then you need to think long term about how you can create more value. It's all about value building a company. It's value, value, value. This entire community we built behind us, our company we're building, the reason why we're so successful is we're building value faster than all of our competitors. So, and that's something that I am very good at and I am very passionate about and I hyper obsess over. You can take someone like Mr. Beast. Unfortunately, he's in a lot of shit right now. But before that, he would just wake up every single day and say, how can I make a better YouTube video? And that's pretty much me. Every single day I wake up and say, how can I build a better community? How can I give more to my wholesalers? And Ryan and Nick, especially Nick, is saying, how can I give more to my sales agents? And you need to become hyper obsessed over just determining how you can just create more value for your client or for your employees or for your end buyers. And there is a ton you can do. So I don't want to give away all the trade secrets, but yeah, we're giving our agents free contracts, free leads, and they're making boatloads of money from it. We're helping these wholesalers actually make real money. I mean, Olivia making $10,000 tomorrow is absolutely phenomenal. I couldn't be happier.
Want someone from the wholesalers community is making a 10K assignment fee?
Yeah, did you not? Yeah, so Olivia will be making a $10,000. That's her second $10,000 assignment fee. So Ryan Binion's making a $10,000 assignment fee, and then Olivia on her first deal is going to be making a $10,000 assignment fee. She spent absolutely no money to get into this program, and we carried her to her first $10,000 assignment fee, and it's all hers. She's literally going to net $10,000. And she's paid all this money and spent all this time with all these other gurus, and she got no money from it. And why did we do it? because she's made us money, and so it's worth it. And now she's going to make us a lot more money. So why would I not want her to make $10,000?
Oh, it's a huge win-win. I mean, I think what you've done with the wholesalers community is just, it's insane. And I know the landscape of like our disposition wholesaler investment brokerage, landscape, and no one's doing what you ourselves and our community is doing. So it's really cool to see it come this far in 4 months. I mean, it's just getting rolling too. And the resources and the, effort on our end is only going to increase. So, I mean, that's real money. 10 grand. Are you kidding me? And keep in mind too, if we make 10K as an assignment fee, like as a company, that's getting broken down to multiple parties. Like that's getting cut up tons of different ways. And a lot of times we're paying fees out of our own assignment fee to other wholesalers and stuff. So while taking on all the risk, not to say, I mean, but on the front side, obviously huge kudos to any, like that's a lot of effort and work to go out there and get those contracts. So it's definitely a team effort. And did we cover earnest money, option money on that one?
Dude, yeah, I pretty much ran most of the deal, so I pretty much did all the work, and then as a partner, I pretty much ran the entire deal, and I'm just so you guys know, I'm probably only gonna be making on a 10K assignment fee. Let's say it was 10K, I make what, like $400, but that's fine. The point is for me not to make money. The point as an entrepreneur, and Ryan, you know this, is to sacrifice absolutely everything in the short term and the medium term, and then in the long term, you end up reaping the most rewards because you've sacrificed for years on years on years. Amazon, Jeff Bezos, decades. All these big startups that you know of, Elon Musk, decades. Like, it takes a long time of sacrificing. And that's what we're doing here. It's on a different scale. It's in a different business, but it's no different. It's entrepreneurship. So yeah, Olivia's going to be making more than all of us, but that's what we want.
Oh, that hypes me up. I love
Isn't that awesome?
Oh, absolutely. We got to highlight that win. I mean, 10 grand's a lot of money.
10 grand's a lot of money.
I'm not going to get into what 10K could buy. I almost went to Vegas. I almost went to my Vegas trip, but
it's going to buy you more art. So who made that piece behind you?
Oh, this guy?
Yeah.
Oh, big shout out to Not Travis, one of my favorite artists and good friends here in Dallas. He's incredible. Anyone familiar in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex probably has heard of Not Travis. He's actually opening up a cool gallery, bringing in some of the best artists in DFW, about 35 artists. I believe it's in Bishop Arts, but they're doing that grand opening in a couple months. We're actually going to take the team, but he does some incredible work, incredible murals around town. And, he commissioned this for me. I gave him a full bullet point list of things I thought would be cool for an art piece, and gave him carte blanche. And this is what he came up with. There it is.
Sick. I'm having a really cool art piece commission for the office. You guys are going to love it. I'm not going to spoil it, but I think you're going to die for it, Ryan.
Well, the art's fun because it commemorates big deals, and also it just brings life. I mean, look behind you, right? It's cool seeing these digital podcasts and like seeing what everyone has behind them, because they're little momentums to your life. I'm still thinking about what I want to put behind me, but
that was to celebrate the first 10 deals that the community did, and then I have one for the first $100,000 in revenue that the wholesalers generated, and that was only in less than 100 days. So 100,000 less than 100 days, and we're already at like 130 something thousand. It's been like 2 weeks, so it's just parabolic.
Oh, you got to celebrate the small wins, the milestones, and yes, commemorate the milestones. I got a good one for you. This one's pretty cool. I got this Southwest plane from my mom when they bought Tran. This is pretty dope. They bought Tran, and she was part of the financing team, and she got this little Southwest trophy. So
that's sick.
It's really cool. You should see her office. They're like hanging from the walls. She's got a lot of skins on the wall now. We'll get there.
We'll get there. So yeah, just so you guys know how our business operates, if you guys don't, I'm sure y'all do. It's pretty much, we get a contract on usually an ugly house or a piece of dirt, and then we sell that contract to an investor who's going to turn it into a beautiful house or a new beautiful home. And we are the middleman. So we are all licensed agents, although we're not acting as your typical agent. We're just making an assignment fee. We're not selling homes or dirt. We're selling contracts on homes and dirt, and it's called wholesaling. And we're actually not going out and finding these deals. We have wholesalers that go out and find the deals. So they do a lot of the dirty work, and that's why I teach them how to do this dirty work. And it's hard work, but the beauty of it is you can do it at any age, from anywhere in the world, and essentially with no money. So that's why it's really popular. And they're calling, they're texting, they're door knocking, they're doing hard work, they're getting these properties under contract, and then we're doing the other half of the legwork, which is actually selling the deal. And what blew my mind, Ryan, when I first joined you guys, I was like, dispositions, that shit's so easy. The hard part's finding the deals. All you guys are doing is just calling up an investor and selling the deal. I'm doing all the lead work. I had no idea. It's literally equally 50-50 on how much work it is. Crazy how much work dispositions is.
I mean, I go back. We always joke like, what's more important? I still don't have a good answer. Mm-hmm. One day I'll say it's dispositions, and then the others it's acquisitions. But it's very much a team sport, right? Like we have both ends of the supply chain or like the sales funnel, like they have to be equally strong. And we're basically providing a service to the end buyers, our flippers, our rental buyers, our customers, but we're also equally providing a service to our wholesalers, our agents. So it's one of the same. We're one arm. I mean, it's sales, it's dispositions, it's acquisitions. Not many. That's why not many people are able to do what we do. We created something that a lot of people have tried to emulate, but not many people have been able to replicate. I think there's only been 2 or 3 companies nationwide that have been able to master this model. And by no means do I think we've mastered this. We have a long way to go, but we've gotten to a point where we built the foundation. It works. Proof of concept's there, and we're scaling and growing, and we're continuing to add really good A-level agents to our business. So I think if we just keep doing good business, doing right by our buyers, doing right by our wholesalers, we'll be where we want to go, and everyone's going to win. Whether it's the wholesaler, whether it's the end buyer, whether it's us, whether it's our wholesalers, our hard money company. I think it all works together. That's the true ecosystem, right? Right, Max? That's the ecosystem that we are working so hard to improve. So, it's cool to see.
Something that's crazy about our business is, and I've started other businesses, like I'm currently working on another tech software, and there's all these different businesses that are out there. Ours is one of the few businesses where it's such a lever. So like right now, what's going on is that before we were not, we had too many deals and we couldn't sell them all. So because our sales team was new, we didn't have that many sales members. Now those new sales members are slinging deals. They've gotten so good. They're selling deals right and left. And then Ryan's added a ton more salespeople. So now our issue is we don't have enough deals. And then we're gonna up the amount of deals we're gonna get. And then our salespeople aren't gonna be selling enough. So it's a constant tug, and it just fuels you every day. There's no slowing down. So it's either we need to work on bringing in more deals or we need to work on selling more deals. And I don't think you can ever find a perfect level of parity. It's crazy.
Well, that's I mean, that goes to my point of like always improving the bottleneck and not growing too fast in one arm. And because something will break if that's where businesses scale too quickly, right? And something lacks. Like if we get too many people in and we're not nurturing, developing property, we're gonna fail. If the wholesalers community comes in and we add 1,000 people and they start bringing us contracts, but we can't move them, the wholesalers are gonna fail. If there's a plethora of examples I can think of, but it's all of these arms just continuously, slowly improving at the same time, organically and not overextending ourselves. Because Max, like we only have so much time and effort from the managing partners and even the team itself, right? So we can't fix everything. We can't we only have 24 hours a day. And 8 of those are usually sleeping. So we only have so much hours in the day to actually work on the stuff that needs to be improved. So that's why it takes 10 years for a company to, reach that stage of a company where it's massively successful. I think it takes 8 to 10 years for any person or company or endeavor to become maturity. That's I think if you look at any historical Fortune 500 company, that's you're looking at about 10 years. And I think that's the expectation people should have if they're starting in real estate. Know that it's not going to happen in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Know that this is a 10-year process to get to your goals. I used to want things to happen immediately for me, short-term rewards. And I was setting myself up for failure because I would sit there and expect results to happen overnight when I was setting myself up for failure by thinking it happens that quick. It doesn't. It's a 10-year battle to get to where you want to go. So, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, this is such a different model than what I'm used to. I'm used to the tech model, the Elon Musk model, move fast, break things, where you want to move as fast as you can, scale as fast as you can, get as much venture capital money as you can, bring as much customers in as you can, and then if your product breaks, that's okay. Just try to catch up. And this is the exact opposite business because our product is not a product, it's a service. And when our service lacks on either side, our customers and our employees, they start running. So we need to inch up. And it kills me because I'm just like, I know I can bring the acquisitions to pumping in 100 deals a day. Just give me some money. Let me go hard. That's what I'm good at. I'm good at moving fast. I'm good at just blowing things up, going viral. And then you guys are like, no, the systems aren't in place. So then I'm like, ugh. But then now you're like, okay, systems are in place. And I'm like, now I'm trying to catch up. So then I got to move up a little bit. It's a wild model, but it's again, you have to it's slowly but surely. And yeah, real estate is just like that. It's a long game. I started investing in real estate now. What has it been? It's been exactly 8 years. We're almost on year. Yeah, it's about 8 years, and about 3 months from now is when I bought my first house. And I'm finally at the point now where, I can pretty much have enough passive income to live on. And it's not from buying a ton of properties, but like if I live frugally, I can pretty much live on the passive income. So it takes a long time. And that's one thing I think people get wrong, just flipping over to real estate, Ryan, and stepping outside of entrepreneurship. But entrepreneurship too, it applies to everything like you're saying. It takes a lot longer than people think to actually build something that can support your lifestyle or get you to where you want to be. And I have this talks with people all the time in our community. They're like, I want to buy real estate so I can quit my 9 to 5. I'm like, well, if you buy real estate, you better get a second 9 to 5 because you're going to be eating like shit for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years, 10 years until you're at the point where it supports you. I cannot tell you. I literally ate cans of beans for friggin' months because I couldn't afford food. And it's the same thing with entrepreneurship. I want to quit my job and do a startup. No, you better get a second job and then work on your startup on the side and then start only eating beans. And then in 10 years, you can smile because you never need to work again.
Sacrifice. And then knowing the road is treacherous. I know you just mentioned Musk. I'll give you an example. I mean, Tesla was created in 2003? I mean, they're a massive company now, right? I would say probably one of the most successful car stories in history since Ford Motors, right? But I mean, there were countless moments where they almost went out of business, bankrupt. What's the infamous Christmas Eve story where they were a day away from going bankrupt if they didn't raise $20 million from private investors? So he didn't let that. He put the team on his back. He went out there and raised that capital on the 11th hour, right? And the journey's never easy. There are going to be moments like this, Max. I think we're going to have our Tesla moment where something's going to seem dire and we're going to have to pull something out of us to get this thing or save this thing or keep us afloat. Hopefully it's not that dramatic.
And the craziest part is that wasn't year 2, year 3, year 4. That was like year 5 where they damn near went bankrupt.
2008, right?
Yeah. That was 5 years into their founding. So, I mean, we're chilling. Like, we've been alive for 18 months. I've been part of this company for like 6 months now. I'm smiling. It's been easy. But yeah, it's going to get hard and it's going to get bad. For them, it was the recession. I'm actually curious on that. So I do not agree so much with Tony and Nick. And this is what I love about having partners. We always just have to argue and debate and get our points across. They think the recession is going to be wonderful for our company. What do you think about that? Do you think if we get a recession, it's going to make our wholesaling better, worse? What are your thoughts?
I mean, Max, I'm under the impression that we're kind of going through it right now. I think we're at the bottom personally. I mean, when we started the company 19 months ago, like we were at a standstill. I mean, we had 3 guys. It was Nick, myself, and 2 other agents. And we were just fighting to get 1 or 2 deals across every month while also still, trying to pick up sales force and, networking out in the market and figuring out what kind of company we wanted to build. And, we're approaching pre-COVID levels, I believe, right now. So we still haven't gone below, in my opinion, where I think we're right around the bottom, if not at the bottom already. But I think the cool thing about this industry is in a good market, it's obviously super lucrative. There's tons of deals, tons of transactions. Everyone's having fun. The party's going. But during a downturn, which I think we're currently in right now, there's still transactions being done. Like flippers and rental buyers still need properties. It weeds out the people that were here for short-term, easy money. It's a lot harder work to get deals done. I mean, there's more negotiating. There's it's going back to the basics. Anyone and their mom could, get a property under contract 3 years ago and make a quick 5 or 10. It didn't matter who you were. You had no skill set. It didn't matter. That's just how the market was. Right now, this is just, we're still getting deals across the board. I know what other companies are doing. Comparable companies in the Metroplex, at least. I know what they're doing volume wise and transactional wise. And we're right up there. We're a top 1% disposition company now. So transactionally, we're there. We're with the big boys. But we're also lucky that we're in the best market for single family in the country. DFW's bar none, the top market to be doing what we're doing. So we are fortunate. There's probably other sub markets or major markets that are more at a recession level than us right now. But we're fortunate. Deals are being done. There's still money to be made. And was it hard? Sure, yes. But this is the best time to build a company, because once the market turns, I mean, it's going to be a free for all, and in a positive way. Meaning we got through the suck. We propped ourselves up to be the group there to take advantage of it, while a lot of people left and they weren't willing to go through the bad times. I don't know about you, Max. I mean, this is our first downturn since I've been in the working world. But then you have 30-year-old vets that have been through 3, 4, 5 different market cycles, right? And this is potatoes to them. It's just part of it. So are you willing to stay in the good times? Or are you willing to stay in the bad times to get to the good times? I am. This is nothing to me. This is fun. This is the fun part.
Like they say in crypto, build during the winter, build during the bear markets. And it's crazy that we're actually growing in this market. So just so you guys know how our business works is, again, it's the levers, right? That's our whole business. It's the levers. And you need somebody motivated on either side for a transaction to take place. Any sale. I mean, literally think of anything. If I want to give you, this glass here, Ryan, it's like, hey, do you want this dirty glass? Well, someone has to be motivated, either me or you, to buy it. If we're both not motivated, no one's going to be able to transact. And if you have someone in the middle who's facilitating that transaction, they're not going to make any money if no one's motivated on either side. So right now, like Ryan's saying, this is literally an awful market for wholesaling, and still we're making people tens of thousands of dollars every single day, and we're selling deals every single day, and we're growing, and we're hiring agents, multiple agents every single week. So if we can do it in this market, I'm excited for the bull market. But right now in this market, sellers aren't super motivated. Most are sitting on their 3% interest rates. The unemployment's starting to tick up, which I'd love to talk to you more about. It's starting to get really bad. 5% unemployment increase in the past month, which is awful. And then buyers, they're a little bit cautious. They don't know what's going to happen with the elections. They still don't know what's happening with rates. They've slowed down. Some of them see a recession around the corner. So neither party's extremely motivated right now. During a bull market, well, I can tell you, buyers are so motivated, and anybody and their moms will buy property. But during a recession, Ryan, during a recession, there are screaming deals to be had. Our fund is buying right and left, okay? That's what my dream is, our fund actually to start just ripping and buying like 20 properties a month. And there's all these great deals, but do you think our buyers are actually going to buy them? Or do you think they're just going to be like, I can't right now, I don't have the money, the recession, this and that, they're scared? Because historically, that's what happens. Do you think they're actually going to show up and buy?
Are you talking about the funds or us or our buyers?
I guess that's really the question, right? Because if in a recession, most of the properties we sell are fix and flips or new home construction. In a recession, new home construction disappears and fix and flipping really slows down. The people that are buying, the transactions that are happening are usually buy and hold investors.
Well, like if a deal pencils and it makes sense, it makes sense in a good market or a bad. You buy it now at today's. You pencil it out now, right? And you make your assumptions maybe on a 3-year outlook or whatever the strategy is. But as long as the deal pencils in today's environment, you should be good. And we just bought our 7th fund deal now. And just like other, investors, you're fighting to stay ahead of the market, right? Like we've seen a bit of a downturn. People are getting a little more aggressive on their offering recently. There's political discord, like there's uncertainty. Again, rates haven't really dropped at all. Again, I think it comes down to the underwriting. Does the deal pencil right now or not? And that's really all you need to ask yourself. But there's unforeseen circumstances, obviously. Like if you buy a flip and the market crashes 30%, that could happen. I don't know, but
My prediction, we'll see if I'm right. I think a lot of our buyers, I think a lot of the deals we're going to end up moving, if we do get a recession, will be buy and hold deals where larger funds or larger players will start to come in and then buy and holds, or just individuals who are taking a chance on the opportunity. They have dry powder. And I think the fix and flipping is going to slow down. And I think the new construction is going to slow down. But we'll see. I think anywhere around it, we will position ourselves and adapt accordingly.
I read a stat. I think there's over 450 outdated, or like a 450,000 house shortage just in DFW alone. In my mind goes, there's just not enough development to go on there unless there's some, governmental, what do you call it?
We are very lucky we're in DFW. I will say that.
We are, and dude, again, I'm doing a lot of, like we talked about, talent acquisition, recruiting, hiring. That's been my main focus. I'm interviewing a ton of people from the commercial real estate world, office, a lot of private equity, people that, kind of, I don't want to say look down at the single family game, but, and more or less where, they put commercial and private equity and LPGP syndication up on this pedestal, and they're really stagnant right now. And again, I can't speak more highly of like our business model because we're constantly busy. Just because it's a tough market, there's still deals to be done. We're still transacting. People are surviving, if not surviving, thriving still in our business if they're working hard enough. And you can't say that all about all asset classes in real estate right now. So we're getting some really good talent interested in doing what we're doing because they're realizing in a good market there's money, in a bad market there's money, and I'm relying on myself. That's the cool part with this sales, with our model. All you need to do is work hard. It doesn't matter what you do, or what if you put in the work, you can be successful and make good money. And our business model,
I think this is the best time to get into wholesaling, period. Like right now, bar none, is the best time because one, if you can actually successfully make enough money right now, not to get rich, but just to survive full-time wholesaling or work at a wholesaling company like ours, then once the opportunities get really bad, then you're like, oh wow, I have enough money, I'll just go buy one of these properties. I know what to look for. I know real estate investing better than all the real estate investors. Or two, once the times get good, then you're just going to start gripping the biggest fees. So I think right now is the best time. And yeah, I see the motivation coming from the sellers. It's starting to happen. So I think I am just so excited for the future of where everything is going.
give me a cool wholesalers update. What do you have in the works to add value to our fellow wholesalers who are getting after it and making $10,000 assignment fees?
Okay, so what do we currently even offer at the wholesalers here? I'll show you. Yeah, because you're not even so up to date. That's the crazy thing about having partners. Like we don't check on each other all the time.
We don't have to. We trust each other's abilities and we let each other run. Yeah, I know you got it covered. If you ever need my help, I'm there. I pop in every now and then, but you got the virtual army. I got the in-person army to deal with.
So as far as the wholesalers go right now, it's growing like crazy. I mean, 682 members, and I'm not even marketing. So we're on our way to 1,000 members. I have a nice new landing pages, trying to make it more friendly. Discord's sort of scary when you get in here. I'm going to be working on nice new introduction videos and all that fancy stuff. This is what we offer. If you go to the schoolhouse here, Ryan, we have a ton of great things. I'm going to be adding scripts here super soon. I'm just finalizing them. I got some great scripts I've been writing. Here we have 17,000 skip trace phone numbers. Super exciting. We're going to start getting you guys a ton more data. So you can get in here. You'll have scripts. You have skip trace data that we've spent tens of thousands of dollars on. You have contracts and how to fill out contracts, videos of me teaching you how to fill out contracts. I have teaching you how to comp. I got repair estimators. I got LOIs. I got proof of funds. I got calculators. I do masterclasses. I got absolutely everything. We will comp your deals. So it's been going absolutely great, Ryan. As far as how things are going, like I said, it's been about 100 days now, I think, in the Discord, maybe less than 4 months. As far as the company, it's brought us over 6 figures in revenue. As far as wholesalers have gone, I need to calculate that exact number, but tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars for these wholesalers. And my goal is that that flips and these wholesalers start making hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that's usually how it works. Once a wholesaler gets their first deal, it's usually not the biggest fee. Maybe it's a $2, $3, $4, $5,000 fee. If you get lucky, maybe it's a $10,000 fee, like Olivia on our first deal. But the thing is, after you know how to find these deals, how to negotiate, how to find the motivation, the pain points in the sellers, and how to run these deals mostly yourself, then we have the dispo company. Then we can just be happy with our, $10,000 on average assignment fees, and you, the wholesaler, then you can be making $10, $20, $30,000 on each deal. So I am extremely happy with how things are going. About 13 deals right now with the wholesalers, maybe 14. Things are going really well. Now, what's the future? The future is to get that number to closer to, probably want to get to a deal a day coming out of the wholesalers. That's my long-term goal. I think we can probably hit that within 12 months and probably generate maybe $500,000 a month in revenue for the company. Would be ideal. And I think we can get there. We just got to keep providing unlimited value to our community. Keep giving them and giving them and giving them, and then just being there as a resource. And then my goal, really, more so than anything, is to help these wholesalers make a lot of money. Because, at the end of the day, like we said, Ryan, if our clients, who in this case are the wholesalers, are making money, then we will end up making money in the long run. We just need to help them keep getting more deals. And
We're working hard behind the scene, guys. I can promise you that.
we are.
And we're 4 months in, wholesalers?
4 months.
Come on, that's crazy. Come on.
I'm really happy. I guess I get frustrated because I'm just like, I want it to be better. I want to do more. But if I thought of where I would be in 4 months from now and actually really help these people, these amazing people, I'd be smiling. So
I'll give my 2 cents on the wholesalers. I still remember, because you have to remember when you guys jumped on, you had all these crazy ideas, pitching all these value adds to the company, and at that point, like Nick and I are still. We're so beaten down, and in a positive way. Like we're just still in deal mode, trying to, get deals for the team, provide revenue, do this, do that. When you came in, and I still remember the meeting to this day, and you're pitching a wholesalers, and you're talking about like scallywags and powder and this Discord, and I'm not gonna lie, it was one in one ear and out the other. I was so beaten down and tired that day. I was like, what is this guy talking about? And to see it now, like I think back to that meeting and I think about what was actually said. I was like, holy shit, Max, like this all came from a vision, a dream, an idea, and you went out there and you executed. And look at all the lives you're changing. I'm proud of you, man. It's cool. And
it was this.
Yeah, is that the original pitch deck?
This is the original pitch deck. This thing. Oh man, it's
keep going. We got to see this.
Oh man, it's pretty much all there. You're talking about the quartermasters and navigators, the buccaneers, the sailors, and then let's fucking. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm happy you remember it.
Oh, I remember it. I didn't really. I can't say I understood it at the time. It went above my head, or maybe I was just in that mode where I was just so locked in and just trying to survive at that point for the business that I wasn't really. We weren't thinking about ideas to push the business forward, So, but now I see. Now it's like that's where my mind goes. How do we improve all these arms? And
community is everything. I've been saying it on every call that we've ever been on, Ryan. Community is the future of business. If you do not have a community, your business will fail. I don't care what business you're building. Community is everything. Especially true in this type of business. Apple, rabid community and fan base. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, everybody, you have to build a community around your product or service. It is a lot of work. It is hard work. I love it and I'm passionate about it, but it is a long game. My girlfriend today was on my ass because, like we had a deal that came out of like the wholesalers or whatever, and like it's gonna make tens and tens of thousands of dollars. She's like, "How much are you making from it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, not much. Doesn't matter." It's like, well, then like, why not, like, why don't? And I was just like, I'm trying to explain to her. It's like, no, entrepreneurship. You're just building for the long term. It's not about how much you can make now, because like I'm gonna make so much more in the future, like millions and millions and millions, and we're gonna look back on this one deal and just laugh about it. Like, who cares, right? But the hard part is when you don't have a if I was broke poor and I didn't have my rental properties and I didn't have savings, then I would have a different mindset. I'd be a lot greedier and I would have to make money. So that's why entrepreneurship, it's a mix for me personally, and that's something I want to get into, Ryan, but I'll let you get your thought out first. I perform best in my entrepreneurship when I have a good savings, my back's not against the wall, I'm stress free, I'm not pressured, I can think long term. I don't have to think in terms of putting food on the table and hungry. I've been there. It's not fun. I never want to go back. My best success is when I'm in a position of comfort. But you and Nick, it's different. Don't you guys perform best when you're like when it's crunch time?
This is not advice, and no one should follow it. I have a sick addiction to making a big purchase, doing something outlandish with my spend, and having to perform and get business done that way. It's basically putting my feet to the fire somehow. So like you said, you perform better knowing you got a nice savings account cushion. I'm opposite. If there's like 30K in debt, I'm like, okay, crap, I better hit 100 calls and get some business rolling to get some, I better procure some business. I just perform better. It's weird. And I don't say get in a hole to get out of the hole, but I sometimes do. But I also invest in myself. I mean, for example, I just spent maybe like 10 grand in clothes. And again, this is credit card. Like it's an investment on myself because I remember I was dressing in really nice, like ALO sets or sweats because I wanted to come to the office and like, hit the phones hard. I thought it was performance. And Nick's like, dude, like, why are you dressing like this every day? You could do better. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to be the best. Now I'm obsessed. Now I want to be the best dressed always. That's another maybe addiction I have. Another reason I got a few bills on the credit card to pay off, but I perform to that standard. I have a vision of myself. I become that person even maybe before I'm fully that person. That's how, and that's manifesting, right? I have a future vision of what I want Ryan Romo to be. And if I see that in my brain and I have sticky notes on my mirror at home, I have little reminders, I'm ingesting the person, I follow the people that I want to be like, and my actions just inherently, follow that path. So I'm doing the things that future Ryan would do in now time. And I mean, seriously, that I think that's the definition of manifesting. I've always done that. I saw this vision of this company years ago. I didn't know how we'd quite get there, but we're here now. The right pieces have fell into place, like yourself and Tony and some of our amazing agents at RFP Homes. But I've had this vision in my mind, and it's hard to explain, but it drives every action behind what I do. And I think that's the first step in anything. Like, see who do you want to become, right? Visualize that person, the best possible version of yourself, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road. What would that person be doing? What are the actions they were taking? And then start becoming that person. That's how it starts. That's what I've learned. Does that make sense, Max?
It makes sense. It's just, guys, when it comes to entrepreneurship is a battle against yourself, and it's learning who you are. And it takes a long time to learn who you are, and I'm still fighting that every single day. And I cannot tell you, I've lost millions of dollars in dumb decisions by not knowing who I was as a person, especially back in my time when I had large amounts of volatile assets, and I am a very anxious person. And it's just learning who you are as a person. And I now know who I am, and I know how I perform best, and I stick to that, and I don't try to change that for other people or for other situations. And it works for Ryan, what he does, works for me for what I do, and you need to decide what works for you. If you just close your first wholesale deal right now and you get $10,000 in your pocket, me personally, I would save that money. I'd get a 6 months not trust fund, but 6 months, emergency fund. And then I would start to slowly think long term about how can I scale this business. But if you're like Ryan, you'd go out and spend 10 grand on PPL and VAs and you just rip it. And you just need to decide who you are as a person. And the dress thing, man, my girlfriend is like, you need to start dressing better too. All I wear is wife beaters. So I'm going shopping this weekend too. I don't dress like I have employees.
Well, and let me take a step back. I also make financially smart decisions. So when I was working at a bigger disposition company learning this game, I also would put aside 20% every commission check into a mutual fund or IRA. I'd also put 10% of that commission check into Bitcoin or something more risky. So I did diversify, and I actually have a nice nest egg because I did that. So I'm not saying just every check it comes right out the door. I maybe exaggerated a bit, but I also it's a fine balance. I'm very risky, but I'm also like smart at the same time. I forgot to mention that. So I would, and also too, I think the best part about real estate with your taxes is, I mean, the goal is to basically pay $0 in taxes every year because you're reinvesting back in yourself. It really is it truly is a business expense. I get to write off my car. I get to write off the gas. I get to write off lunches with clients, the coffees. I'm constantly working. All my actions are work. So I'm very fortunate. I get to deduct, and my taxes are usually right around 1,000, 2,000, sometimes $0 because I reinvest in myself. And those are skills and knowledge that are making me way more money down the road. So if you invest in yourself, read the books, take the course. I mean, there are some really shitty courses out there. Be careful what you're ingesting and spending your money on. But if you're learning the right stuff and you're having to spend money, it's worth it. You're going to make that skill set that's going to make you 10x on that spend. If you get ROI, it's worth money.
Set up a wholesaling LLC, guys. Start writing off things. Stop paying taxes if you don't have to. You guys will learn the game of entrepreneurship. The game of entrepreneurship is just a game of how to legally avoid taxes. There's so much to learn.
What better way than, the real estate code was written, the tax code was literally written for real estate investors. There's no other way to put it. Yeah, it's beautiful. Exactly.
So give me an update on who we're hiring, because Tony called me excited and was like, Max, your Discord needs to rip more deals. Ryan's on fire right now.
We just got some great hires. Let me think.
Because didn't we just hire 3 people and they started last Monday?
Well, that was the thing, I don't even know what I've been doing differently. This is just where my time's gone the last 2 months, solely on, I've even served a bit of a role as a recruiter, which maybe not be the best use of my time. But it's working, and that time spent bringing in awesome agents who then obviously we develop and give time and resources to, but they're going to be making money for themselves, but also the company. So it's obviously time well spent. We got a girl named Taylor today. She's from Waco. I actually know her dad from the old country club when I used to work in Waco. And she's 23 years old. She was at a bigger brokerage she had no mentors, no platform to learn, no training videos, no team to bounce ideas off of. And I just cold mailed her on LinkedIn. She responded. She came in the next day. We had a great talk. She's hungry as hell. Just like I said earlier, I just want people to be hungry and have the right mindset and values as us. And hell, we'll give you a shot. And she's on board. We had 2 days later, she signed. So, that was a matter of 3 days from one cold LinkedIn message. And it's awesome. She's awesome, and I'm excited to see what she can do. And also too, it's just nice bringing like-minded people around us, so it's just a win-win. It's an incubator of talent. It was what I'm trying to create. I want just the best possible people to come in, and not only for us to help the company, but it levels us up, Max, because we got to up our game. The more people we have, we owe it to them to make sure they're getting the best onboarding, the best development, the best training, the most support, the most nurturing. So I mean, that's talk about me doing the credit card thing, spending a lot of money, right? It's the same thing. Maybe we're overspending with the people that we're getting in because it's a lot of time allocation to our end, but we're having to step up our game and feet to the fire now. We got a lot of people depending on us. So that's kind of where we're at in terms of hiring. We got a guy named Francisco from El Paso, super smart finance and real estate background. He's 23 years old, was working at a an acquisition direct to seller, your more traditional, you know, cold calling, SEO, PPC, talking to individual homeowners, taking about 3 to 6 month lead time to get those, from touch point to contract. And, he was just looking for a team for support. I mean, he was in here till 5:30. The second we started the podcast, he was walking out. I mean, just banging out the phones by himself. Those are the kind of people we're looking for. That, I mean, you can't teach that. I mean, we can show anyone exactly what to do, but you can't teach that desire to stay in. You want to be the first one in, the last one out. That's how you win.
Yeah, and it doesn't just have to do with about money. There's a lot of poor people who are lazy and don't want to do it, and there's a lot of rich people who are lazy and don't want to do it, and vice versa. So it's something that's in the brain that you want to be the fucking best, and you want to get in here and like Elizabeth, right? Like when Brittany sells a deal and Elizabeth doesn't, the next day she sells two, and she's like, "No way is someone out going to sell me," and that's just what you need. And that's what you got to hire for.
Shout out to our female agents at RFP Homes. I mean, talk about a differentiator. I know our competitors. I know the people in our arena. I know what those teams look like, and they ain't 50-50 female to male ratio.
We have 50-50?
I think we might be. I don't want to bank on. I don't want to say that as a fact, but if not, we're really close. I mean, we're at least 60-40. Actually, let me look this up.
Yeah, pull up the roster. That's awesome. Guys, when it comes to culture and mindset, Ryan Romo is an absolute expert at developing culture and mindset. You cannot have you can. I'm not going to say that. You can have a big company and have terrible culture and all your employees, and you can have terrible mindsets. But you are not going to reach your full potential. There are a lot of companies that the culture sucks at.
Well, I think we also care, and obviously culture trickles down, but it also is formed by the team members in the office. Everyone contributes to that culture, and it feeds off each other. Again, we're delivering a message of excellence, and raising the standard and preaching what we know works for us, and hopefully people take a hand and do, because we know we've been through the battles. We're only a few steps ahead, right? We don't know everything. We know what has worked in the past, and we were successful, and we're giving back and coaching and helping people achieve their goals and their dreams, and helping them get to where they want to be. Because I mean, that wasn't that long ago, Max, where I remember starting my career in this industry and starting out as a disposition agent. I didn't know shit. It's scary, I mean, there were multiple times I don't know, self-doubt. Can I do this? Can I power through? And I started during COVID. I was the first agent hired at my office during COVID. I had barely any support. I had to figure it out on my own. I had to be the hungry one to go find the information, because I was virtual. I was in a 500 square foot studio living with my girlfriend and dog at the time. I had to figure this out. So that's why, I know you're in here and you hear me preach, like, guys, like, we're here to help you. We're going to provide you the training, the resources, the knowledge, whatever. Like, we're going to give you our all. But it's not just us. There are 20 other amazing tenured agents who have been doing this just as long, if not longer, than myself and Nick. You have to. The information's all here in this, between these four walls. If you're not out there, pounding down doors and blowing up your fellow agents and asking them, how are you marketing this? What are you saying to an agent? What are you saying to a seller or buyer in this situation? And why are you saying it like this? What's the tonality? How do you overcome that objection? What's your pitch? You have to be asking the right questions and being curious. And if you're not, you're doing yourself a disservice. Like all the answers are here, and that's the ecosystem we built. And it's kind of just pushing. It's really, again, that's where the mindset. That's why I love talking about mindset and thinking things through. Like, here's how I would go about solving this issue, and that's a lot of times the light bulb's there. Like, the people giving some framework on how to go about solving an issue or figuring something out. That's kind of my game now. That's what I like helping our agents achieve. Of course, I can sit there and go over, here's how to comp, here's how to do this, but I don't think that's where my value lies. I think I have a pretty unique skill set of framing each certain situation, how to go about learning something and then executing from there. That's personally one of my better skill sets, in my opinion. I don't know. I could be wrong. You tell me.
No, you're good at that, and I'm thinking that I need to do that more to my community. So instead of just sitting there and being like, hey, this is how you comp, or hey, this is how you write up a contract or something, because they can watch one of my 100 videos on that. It's getting down into the nitty gritty and actually doing those specifics of like, here's how you could have approached this specific situation better, or hey, you did really well here, but try to do this next time. Actually, it's that next level. And it's from our experience, right? Because anyone can teach anyone how to comp, but just getting to that next level in those specific scenarios, I'll try to implement that more.
Teach them to fish.
Teach them to fish. Teach them to fish. Well, we'll talk to Tony about that tomorrow and see if Tony wants to teach him to fish, because I know us three want to. No, I'm kidding.
Who we trying? Wait, who's gonna fish? Who are we teaching to fish?
Oh no, remember we're talking about like what we want to add to the Discord next.
Oh yeah. We're
I'm
on
super excited. Oh, no, I know we all are. I'm super excited. We're just trying to figure out what kind of leads to bring you guys. What kind of leads are we bringing you guys?
There's a lot of internal battles, and again, guys, keep in mind too, like we can only give so much on the revenues we're generating at times. So like the value will continue to be added, especially as we do more deals, especially as we expand. The more we can, like everything that we make, we reinvest back in the team and resources, and I mean we're investing in. I mean, tech and, just team culture. I mean, everything, and everything's expensive. So it's allocating those budgets properly to each arm, like we were discussing. And I think that's one of the hardest parts, like what needs fixing at the moment, what needs improvement. So just know, I mean, I trust me when I say this, we're in the boardroom fighting for more resources for wholesalers, and it's going to come. So bear with us, keep putting the battles in, and I promise you, the more deals we do from wholesalers, the more that's going to go back into it. You have my word on that.
Absolutely. We reinvest every dollar. We don't do no distributions.
Well, I'll say it here. We have not taken one distribution since we started this company.
I love the zoom in effect.
It's true. I just got my teeth whitened. How'd you do that?
I just gave you solo. Here. You want the camera to be on your smile?
Oh, man. I'm looking every bit of 30.
You can zoom out now, bro.
Wait, I don't know how to.
So, you never told me. What's the ratio of our company? 50-50 yet? 40-60?
I think I was wrong.
Taking out the partners.
Zoom me out.
I can't zoom you out. You're the one who did that.
Am I really?
Yeah, you're the one who somehow zoomed yourself in.
I don't know what to do.
You can turn your camera off and turn it back on. All right. I want to figure out what the ratio of our company is. Did you open up our...
It's not.
Well, that's okay. It's just the trajectory is what matters. I mean, when I started 6 months ago, we only had one female in the office. It was just Elizabeth, right? And she started 3 months before or like 1 month before I got there. Now, oh no, we had that one girl, I think Monica, but she ended up leaving. So really, we had one person. Now, how many female agents we have? We have Heather, we have Brittany, we have Elizabeth, we have, I guess you just hired Taylor, Kate,
Sharon.
So that's 7.
Okay, you're right. Trajectory. Maybe we're headed there.
That's insane.
We have 7.
How many people? So we've hired 6 females in the past 6 months, and I don't know, maybe how many guys did we hire? Then we probably hired like 4 guys.
Well, so okay, 7 out of, not including us 4, 7 out of 20. Okay, we're almost 50-50. 3 out.
Dude, it's fantastic. And it's not like we're trying for that. It's just like these are the candidates we're bringing in, and they are delivering. Like,
oh my gosh,
absolutely insane.
Dude, the girls are dominating the guys right now. I think our last like 5 sales have been Brittany, Elizabeth, Sharon.
I don't know if I could legally track that. I guess I could. I guess I could track that data. As
Which
long
part?
as I'm not gonna get in trouble by like anybody for tracking data based off of like what gender is selling more deals and all that.
Well, it's easy. It's just easy to see. I mean, literally, it's been Elizabeth, Brittany, and Sharon. It's easy to track.
Yeah.
All right, what else are we getting into?
Whatever you want, man. I gotta go show my rental properties after this. I got 2 more rooms to rent out of 11. So I got 9 rented. I got 2 more to rent, and school starts on Monday. So it's crunch time for me.
Do we are there anyone is there anyone in the chat?
Yeah, there's a few people in the chat. You guys have any questions?
Yeah, let's open up for questions.
Yeah, we can open up for questions. So one person was asking about an LLC. A Roll was saying, I got you here, Roll. That was one more of a question. Do I only use, so you have an LLC and you are wondering if you should use it, you're currently using it for lending, and you're wondering if you can use it for wholesaling or if you want to start a separate LLC. I'm not an attorney, bro, so please don't quote me on this, but you should be absolutely fine to use your LLC for multiple purposes. Really, an LLC, you don't want to be mixing very different businesses with your LLC, but mostly don't be mixing your businesses when you have assets in your LLC. So if you own rental properties in an LLC, please do not wholesale from that LLC. But if you're doing lending and you're doing some wholesaling, I think you're probably fine. You're not probably at a huge scale yet, but hey, it's not too expensive to go and start another LLC, you know, $1,000. You just have to deal with the bank accounts and stuff. Just so you know, man, I started in the past couple months, I just opened up another 4 LLCs. It's the life of an entrepreneur. So if you guys actually want to talk about entrepreneurship, LLCs will be your best friend. I started one for my little tech company. I started one to buy my equity. Ryan's drink. One for for RFP Homes, and then I have one for my rental properties. That's a series LLC. So then I can have different cells within my LLC. So each cell is holding a property or a certain amount of properties up to a specific dollar amount. So if that cell gets sued, it doesn't now affect my other cells. Really interesting. Look into Texas series LLCs. And then on top of that, I have a management company for my LLCs. So to create a little bit more of a divide. So now all my properties are managed by a property management company, which I own. So LLCs, man, I got way too many of them. I got way too many bank accounts, but it's okay. You'll get there too. And if you start an LLC and you just don't use it anymore, cool, dissolve it or turn it into a different type of LLC. And he said, I'm the NFT guy in the Discord. Oh, sick, dude. What's up, Roll? And no, I don't have LLC yet, but want to do lending too, but was wondering, is it safe to do both from those? Yeah, ask somebody smarter than me. But be really careful about lending, bro. I'll help you with that. So I think start with wholesaling, and then you'll see what a good deal is. And then after you see what a good deal is enough times, you'll know what you should lend in or not. Dude, hey, Roll actually just got a deal under contract, and Heather's reviewing it right now. Ryan.
Good job, Roll. How's Roll getting majority of his leads? Is he door knocking? Is he calling?
Roll literally, I think, started yesterday. So Roll, I mean, you tell me, bro. How'd you do it? We have that many. Okay, so yeah, Wyoming, Texas LLCs are fine, bro. You can do the whole Wyoming LLC for anonymity. You can also do that in Texas just as well. Speak to an attorney. But either or. I mean, people do Wyoming, people do Texas. Either are solid. Between us, anonymity is not that important. It's overrated, in my honest opinion. Get an umbrella policy. That's more important than anonymity. Sorry, these are technical questions. Roll, how are you getting your deals, bro? But no, I want to get these wholesalers more data, dude, so they can just start ripping calls. Dialers are super cheap. You can get a dialer for like $20 a month, and then just have them to start ripping more calls. Most of these deals are on market that these wholesalers are bringing in, just because it's easy, right? When I started wholesaling, I did on market too. I did for sale by owner, and I just called realtors because it's right there, it's available to you, it's free, and it's simple. And if we can make this simple for our wholesalers and just provide them off market data, more of it, I think we'll start to generate more of those leads. Cool. Yeah, we got a lot. Heather's looking at it. It's interesting, Ryan. He it's a cheap lot in Garland. So your typical Garland lot, if you're building a $300,000 house in Garland, guys, that means we can sell that lot for usually 20% of 300,000, 60,000. I am now the self-proclaimed land guy at our company because I've been bringing so many land deals and they've been ripping huge fees.
We've been moving them.
We've been moving them. Don't Nick is finally starting to be okay with land. I'm so happy. But this lot that Roll got, he got for 30,000, not 60, and you're like, oh my god, it sounds like a good deal. You got to check floodplains. It's literally smack in the middle of a flood zone. So we'll see. We have some buyers, Ryan, believe it or not, who will buy and build houses in a flood zone. If you do that, you have to have flood insurance. But I guess some of our buyers don't care. So we may lock this one up, Roll. We may not. I'll keep you posted on this one. That was a tricky one. And Roll said, yeah, he's using Zillow for his deals. And then he's doing FSBOs. So that's mostly where wholesalers start.
That's okay. I mean, just find ones that look like they need work and call the agent. It's really that simple. And then, I mean, seriously, I know we talked about KPIs. Get your calls in. I played baseball. I have a pitch counter. When I was full send sales and acquisitions, I know how many calls I had to make daily or weekly or monthly or yearly to get, a contract. And that's how many calls I would have to do in a day. So don't leave your desk until you get the calls in. It's that simple. That's where the work comes in, and keeping yourself accountable.
You guys are going to become so much more confident after you get a deal or two under your belt. I cannot tell you how much more confident I am just jumping on the phone with the realtors. It's just another day. I mean, I just closed a huge deal today, and the realtor was like, okay, give me an answer right now. I was like, busy. I'll call you back in a few hours. Let's call him back in a few hours. I said, hey, are we good? He's like, oh, yeah, I guess we're still good, but I was waiting for your call. All right, I'll call you back later. Right? Like, you just start to control the deals once you've gotten that confidence. And it's not arrogance. It's just, you just done it so many times. It's not scary. Right now, wholesaling is scary to all of you. The contracts are so scary. Like, all of it's so scary. The EMD is so scary. The negotiations are so scary. It becomes super fun. You end up living for this.
The EMD shouldn't be scary because we alleviate that fright.
Oh, exciting. So tomorrow I'm on a Pace Morby podcast.
Nuh-uh.
I think so. So it's a little mini Pace Morby podcast. Let me check. The Gators there love me, man, because we are the number one performing Gator in Gator. Like, we are killing it. You can't understand this, Ryan. We have successfully we've broken Gator. Ryan, so just so you know, this one of the biggest Gators in all of Gator. So Gator is Pace Morby's lending, and it's for creative lending. It's short-term lending. It's not so much hard money lending, and it's not so much long-term lending like mortgages and all that fun stuff like DSCR. It's really lending for short-term on a flat dollar amount. So you use it for double closes, super popular. A little bit more complicated stuff is when you're doing gap funding and transactional lending and all this more complicated stuff when you're doing Morby methods and all this crazy creative deals. Or sometimes maybe you're going to be doing loans on sub-2 deals where someone needs someone to come in for hard money for a short 3 months until they do a creative SIR. All this fun creative shit, Ryan, that you don't have to worry about. But the number one thing that attracts Gators and what he marketed and started Gator around was EMD lending. He was really the first guy to popularize EMD lending. Pace Morby was a fucking marketing genius. Dude's fucking awesome. He was like, well, there's all these wholesalers who don't have EMD. Well, I can just lend them EMD. Well, I can teach people how to lend them EMD. So anyways, that's how it started. And these Gators, they charge wholesalers like 50 to 100% on their EMD. So if somebody lends you have a $10,000 assignment fee, Ryan, but you had to put down 1% EMD and the house was 300,000. So you had to put down 3,000 EMD. Okay, well, someone's going to come in, a Gator, and lend you this 3,000, but at the end of the deal, he's going to want 5,000 back. They don't work on percentages, they work on flat dollars amounts. So now your assignment fee is no longer 10,000, it's 8,000 because you just had to give this guy $2,000 out of your assignment fee. And he just made $2,000 just for lending you EMD for a week or two. Sounds great in theory. The issue is, Ryan, there's 10,000 Gators now in Pace Morby's Gator program. insane. 10,000 gators. People have paid a lot of money to pay to be in this program. And I think it's a great program. Don't get me wrong. But there's 10,000 of them, and they're all struggling to get their first deal because there's not enough wholesalers that need EMD, and not enough of them want to pay that much. But more so, this is the big problem. Ryan, you know this. What's our close rate on our typical wholesale deal? How many, when an average deal hits the board? So right now, Ryan, I'm opening up Salesforce here, and I look at our wholesale deal board. And we currently have, we don't have that many properties on the board right now. We're pretty dry. We have 6 properties that we're wholesaling. For us, that's not that many. How many do we usually close? Ryan, what's our close rate? Just a guess.
Depending on what month. Because we were hitting at a point, we were close to 75. Then we had a bad month. We were closer to 30. And then we brought that back up to, I believe, closer to 60, if I had to guess. I'm a little not in tune with the board right now. And I tell you,
no worries. But I think you're pretty right. It's over 50% always. I can tell you from the wholesalers, it's actually been incredible. I think we've only had I can count on one hand how many properties we've had drop from the wholesalers. And I mean, we've closed like 13, 14, maybe 15 now by the end of the week. So we don't lose a lot of deals, guys, but we are the anomaly. One, why are we the anomaly? We do cash. Creative deals do not close often. And secondly, we have the most incredible sales team. So this is the root problem with Gator, and this is going to end my rant. Your average wholesaler, I mean, what do you think, Ryan? Your average cash wholesaler, what are they doing? How many is it 1 in 3 they're able to successfully dispo? 25%, maybe 10%? What do you think?
individual wholesalers or like disposition shops like we have?
A good dispo. I mean, your average dispo shop is going to be under 50%. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Your individual wholesaler, one in a few, right?
Yeah, but also you think about it too. That most individual wholesalers, depending on, a lot of times they're just getting contracts to get it because they feel like they're winning. And a lot of those times they're like they way overbought. I think why it works and why we have such a good success rate is, for one, our agents are best in the business, but two, we're really strict on what we put on the board, right? We underwrite them like a hawk, and we have like different, stages of, okay, we have multiple people looking at these deals to make sure they're a good deal on the board before we put it in. We want to be very confident we can get them moved, and that it's at least, now we take shots on some deals. There are trickier deals and it may take a certain buyer, but we're our standard of putting a deal on the board, it needs to be pretty damn close to at least 80%, if not much better, so that's why our conversion ratio is higher. We're really strict on what we put out there because we have a buyer reputation to adhere to.
Exactly. So we are the anomaly, right, guys? 75%, let's say. Your average wholesaler, your average dispo shop under 50%, your average wholesaler 10 to 20%. Your average creative finance investor, Ryan, these creative deals are so hard to wholesale. Let me give you an idea here. There is a Gator, awesome guy, one of the top Gators. He lends EMD. Now he only focuses on commercial deals, Ryan, multi-million-dollar deals. Why is that, Ryan? Because his time is wasted on these small deals. Because, Ryan, he's lended on over 400 EMD deals. Just for reference, I've lended on, I don't know, less than 20, like friggin', less than 20. We've closed like 13, right? Because our success rate's so high. He's lended on over 400, Ryan, and he has only done 23, I believe, transactions.
That's insane.
5%, right? So this is the problem with Gator on EMD lending. There is 10,000 Gators. They are all fighting for the same deals. And then when they get the same deals, Ryan, none of them freaking close. So I have come in and out of the bat, we've done, not me, we as a team, we've done all these deals. And through Gator, Ryan, through lending EMD, we've generated over now 6 figures. So they love us there. So podcast tomorrow.
Well, it makes sense because of what I just said, the systems we have in place, the professional compers we have in the Discord. We're actually checking to see, are these deals that we're confident we can move? We're checking the numbers. we're underwriting them properly. We're having the right rehab numbers. So therefore, if we're lending the money on it, we're pretty damn confident we're going to get it moved. I mean, that's why our conversion rates, it sounds like what our conversion rate has to be at least 40, 50% higher than the best in the business. And oh my God, we just solved another problem. That's crazy. I didn't even think of that.
Exactly. And that's why we don't need to charge when we lend DMD. I don't care if I make $1,000, $2,000, or $5,000 when we're making money on the sales side. So I think the Gator has been awesome for our business, and I keep trying to tell these other Gators to think outside the box. So I'm super excited for that podcast tomorrow.
Well, the Gators will have to have a disposition company like we have. I think that's the missing link.
There is not yet a good creative dispo shop. I think someone will crack the code, but it's not there yet. Problem with creative is it's very subjective. A cash deal is not subjective. It's a good deal or it's a bad deal. Creative is subjective. Tony can look at a deal and I can look at a deal, and we know creative very well. He'll think one's a good deal and I'll think one's a good deal, or he'll think a bad deal and I'll think it's a bad deal. Creative is subjective, so it's very tough to have a dispo shop. And the biggest problems with creative dispo, Ryan, is what is a creative investor? They hate cash, right? They hate spending their cash. They try to do things 100% creatively. So if they hate spending their cash, you know what they hate to do, Ryan?
They'd hate to be me.
They hate to pay assignment fees. So you can have the most incredible creative deal, and the investor's like, $5,000 assignment fee. That's $5,000 that I don't have cash, and then I can't use that to leverage up and buy another property sub 2 with $0 down, right? So it's the antithesis of the assignment fees in creative is the antithesis of creative. It just does not work. And that's why you can rip a $40K assignment fee on a crappy cash deal, but it's impossible to do that with creative. So I don't know. I don't know if anyone will crack the code. We'll see.
Well, maybe that's our next side project once we master all this other stuff.
I don't mind. I would love to do that one day because I love creative. It's just wholesaling it is a pain in the butt, and it's also very risky. So anyways, but yeah, so we got the Gator podcast tomorrow. We got a lot of fun things tomorrow. Anything on the top of your head, Ryan? I got to go and show some properties.
Let's wind it down. We got 3 minutes, and then I got a hangry girlfriend at home, and I got another hangry dog, and I promised them a walk on the Katy Trail. So let's nice. Take us home, Max.
Take us home. Country roads. Well, I'll let Soup do the honors. Soupy. See, stop taking a little nap.
Oh, also too, how much better was this podcast than the first one? And how crappy was my equipment?
Dude, you got some nice equipment now. Oh, you got to put it on the credit card. You got to spend that money on the credit card.
Well, I just deducted it.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That works too.
Bye, Soup.
All right, Soup. This was our chill podcast. Next week, who do we have next week? Oh, next week I think I have a Gator on. Then we're going to be doing pad splits after that. So we got some good podcasts coming up.
I'm easy. I'm laid back.
Yeah, you're easy.
I think. Going. Well, that's my next. That's my next little project. Is my own little get. I don't even gonna call it a podcast. I just want to bring. I guess it is a podcast. It's a get together. It's a conversation between myself and some people in my network, more on like the business, real estate. I think it's going to be real estate, business, and mindset. Those are going to be like my 3 topics.
I like that. I think that's perfect. Next time we do a pod, or next time you're on, Ryan, let's talk about content, because that's one thing we didn't talk about. Obviously, all I do is create content. Now you are becoming a full-time content creator, and I want to talk about how that's made a difference in your life, because I can for sure say it's made a huge difference in mine.
I actually think it'd be a great topic because I've only been getting after it for maybe a month now. And again, it's not perfect, but at least I got started. Like if you'd have told me, like I'm comfortable. This scared the crap out of me. Even when we did the first one, like why would I be so scared of a few random eyeballs watching me? I was like giving myself anxiety for no reason, but also too, no one likes hearing their voice in their face at first. And then it's just practice, right? I've had enough practice. I had Jocelyn, we had an intern in the office, and all we did was film for 3 weeks straight. And I mean, man, it's not that it's easy now, but I'm not scared. It's fun. I'm editing on CapCut. I'm trimming down. I'm learning a lot of new skills, and it's only going to improve from here. You've been doing it, what, 2-3 years now?
I've been doing it for, wow, yeah, over 2 years now, probably 2.5 years. So this is just second nature to me. You just get so much more comfortable. You get so much better at it. But the thing is, you just become so much more harder on yourself. Every time I release some content, I hate it. And I think Mr. Beast says the same thing. He'll spend $5 million on a video. He'll post it, and he immediately just hates the video after he posts it because he's already working on something bigger and better. So that's just a constant battle you have to face. So just be nice to yourself is all I can say. And don't get all worked up over the amount of views. I think that's garbage. And maybe I'm just saying that to make myself feel better, but it's about the quality of your viewers. We have an amazing community here. I'd rather have 8 amazing people than 8 million people who are just watching and don't actually pay for your content or anything or reap your rewards. And that's why Alex Hormozy, on his last side tangent, Alex Hormozy, he's completely changed his content from edutainment, which is a combination of like education and entertainment. He used to make videos on bodybuilding or like traveling here and there. He 100% focused only on education now. His videos are a lot more boring, but they're awesome because it's just for business people like me, right? We all listen to it. He knows his target audience, and he says that his revenue from his affiliate businesses has skyrocketed after he's made that change. So yeah, don't get too worked up on the numbers, Ryan. That's not important.
We'll figure it out. You'd be surprised. I have a decent LinkedIn. I didn't realize how big of a LinkedIn following I have. Facebook, I got decent. Instagram's okay, but I'll just put it out there. And if people vibe with myself, they like what I put out, they'll continue to watch. If not, they're not the right people to be following. We'll find the right ones. So
exactly.
All right, man. Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate everything you do for RFP Homes and Discord and Wholesalers Community, Max. I love you like a brother, and I love you, Soup. Adios, guys.
All right. See you guys. Bye, everyone.